Hi, let's begin the read. This is going to be a reading about the Divine Masculine and what he wants to say to Divine Feminine. So the first card we get is the Two of Swords. We also have a couple other sword cards in this reading. We have the Eight of Swords, the Seven of Swords. So we have the 2, the 8, and the 7 of Swords, and the Ace of Swords. So with all this sword energy, I'd have to say he wants to start off by saying something to Divine Feminine. Definitely how he wanted a new beginning with you. He wanted the chance to speak to you in person, in front of you, but for some reason he definitely wasn't able to face you like a man the way he knows you deserve, like a straightforward response, like where his actions match his words and he remembers what he says. He's really sorry that he didn't get a chance to give you the attention you deserved. And of course, he wanted to come up with a truce with you, compromise with you more. He's really thought of like 100 other ways he could have like not been a dick to you, because he knows you didn't see it because of the situation. You could only hear what was going on, but like he wasn't telling you the full truth. So take that as you want. And just the fact that with the Eight of Swords, he felt super trapped, and he knows he probably should have talked to you, but there was just so much going on last season. And he was trying like to water the grass. He was trying to really live by that quote, like the grass is greenest where you water it, because he was already in one location and he was just thinking that if he stayed there and invested there, then everything would eventually just bloom over and he wouldn't have to worry about these other sword cards that are currently on the table right now. And he was very wrong about his assumption about how everything would just go away on its own and he could just live peacefully and happily. And let's keep going. So then we draw the Seven of Cups. So he really did see you as an option, believe it or not. Sad to say, but it's the illusionment card. He was really stuck. He was like so greedy and just so like unsure. He was like, oh, I could have this candy bar, or I could have this new car part, or like this motorcycle tire, or like this new jacket, or this cute little kitty cat, or my Divine Feminine. Like, you were just one of the random things. Like, you were basically an object to him. It really wasn't anything special that you were considered to be one of his options based on what his other options were. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune. So sure enough, he went with one option and it was quickly just off the options list and he had to like replace it with something else. But the more times he kept interchanging his options, he just started to get to this place where he realized that you were always going to be an option, and that he was starting to really be a really crazy guy when he's just thinking that you could be placed in a certain place in his head and he could just return to you whenever he wants, but not really give you the attention you truly deserve. And then we have the Five of Pentacles, the Sun card, the Hierophant, and the Lovers, and his final statement. So he really felt at odds with you. He's a man of his word, so he says. Look, now he's changing his mind during the reading. Ha. And then the Sun card. So he did see you as his divine feminine. He still sees you as his divine feminine. You're still on his mind constantly. He's just like pushing it down. He's like trying to come up with reasons why you're not gonna work out for him. It could be anything. But with this Five of Coins, he's like asking his friends, like, what do you think of me and her? And then they're just like, I don't know. But he's like demanding a response. Like, I have to get an answer from you. Like, I don't care. And everyone is just like, oh, well, I think yada, yada. Like, and they're saying stuff that's not even true about divine feminine. And this divine masculine is just so far into his head thinking about you that he's trying to convince himself by convincing others through convincing himself that he's not in love with you. And then we have the Hierophant card. Let's just do things right from now on. Just follow the book. Follow the rule book. I'm sure someone somewhere made a rule book. Or if not a rule book, possibly a spell book. Maybe a cookbook. Just there's directions on all sorts of stuff. We can even use Google search. How to have a fulfilling life while your divine masculine is and then we get the Lovers card. So while he's crying, while he's dreaming of you, while he's just not talking, but we have the Lovers card. So with all of this being said, he is a very straightforward individual. He's really, looks good on paper. It's like he's possibly good at math or science or numbers or machines. Like, he's not like a people person. I wouldn't really consider him to be like, everyone's favorite man. Like, I mean, he just really likes matters of like tangible matters. So it's like once he sees it, he believes it. So he has this ideal image of this feeling that he needs before he probably transcends into the 4D realm. So he wants to feel a certain way, like, so he can get married to you and feel like everything's in check. Like, he doesn't have to worry about you. Like, he can just be on his own, essentially, focus on his own service to the planet, and just know that you're gonna be there and that, like, the communication is strong. He's really all about communication this month. Sword, like Ace of Sword, like basically he needs to, he sees you as his divine lover, his twin flame, his divine feminine, his divine counterpart. With this Ace of Swords card, he needs to focus on this. Focus on creating the opportunity for himself to open the door to provide whatever he needs to provide if he's never going to move on from this woman, you need to open the door somehow, whether it's like a text message, a letter, an email, just maybe you're in town. Whatever the relationship is, it's just you got to open the door. Maybe start with like a phone call. And then you got to start by saying like the truth. It's either black or white. You know, that's this deck, Bianco Nero Tarot. It's black and white tarot deck. So it's saying open the door and then say either yes or no, black and white. Yes, go, I'm sorry, you know. And then say, you know, you were one of my many choices and I chose wrong. And I realized that I chose wrong. And I eventually didn't have my same energy anymore. I felt trapped and alone and at the service of someone else constantly, and I just didn't know how to get out. I didn't think you would ever talk to me again, and I was really thinking a lot about you and how I left you and how I felt like there were actually things missing in our relationship. But I was actually very confused and became unconfused when I realized this, because when I met you, my whole world changed and became a much more positive place. And all of my relationships they felt right when you were in my life. And he goes, I will do my best to be a truthful, honest person, and I know you can trust me, although I know it might take many months. And that I want to love you every day for the rest of my life. The Lover's card. And with the Seven of Swords, that's his opportunity to say his own personal remark about the stuff that he knows he did to hurt you. Just maybe say sorry again. And one thing that stuck out to me in particular is this, and just say like it was not my intention to hurt you by my action. And at the bottom of the deck, confirming that this man, this masculine, is very much in love with Divine Feminine, we have the King of Cups. So he's really ready to express himself to you, and hopefully everything works out for everyone. And he definitely wants you and him to be happy together if that is what you choose. So I'm packing up the cards right now, and this is Ashley from Aqua Occult Tarot. Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful weekend.